Welcome, welcome everyone to the Talking Mug. I'm your host, Terry, and I'm so thankful that you are here with me today. I don't know about you, but for me, when I hold a warm mug in my hand, it just makes me feel so relaxed, like wanting to sit and have a conversation with an old friend or a new one. So that's what we like to do here. We like to have real talk, tell stories of everyday life, and on occasion have a guest. So grab that favorite mug and settle in. Let's talk. When was the last time you truly stopped and thought, what are you grateful for? And I don't mean like the big things like your family or your health. I would certainly hope that you are thankful for those. But what are you thankful for in the little things? Say, like a soft pillow, a favorite mug, the sun shining. I know where I live, the sun isn't always out, and it is out today. And I am very thankful and grateful for that. Or say you're traveling and you get stuck in traffic and you get frustrated. You can't control the traffic. So, have you ever just kind of sat back, took a breath, and just took in your surroundings? It's fall out. Enjoy those beautiful trees. The leaves are beautiful. Um, so that's what I want to talk about today. So science tells us if we focus more on those small moments um, of gratitude, we could rewire our brain to enjoy a little bit more happiness. So again, that's what I want to talk about today. And before I get any further, I want to tell you, I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. But if you would like me to play one on TV, get a hold of me. I'm sure it would be interesting. But seriously, I am not a doctor, nor am I a scientist. So, whatever I say here is just some research that I found and would like to discuss. So, we have to first understand how the brain somewhat works. So, the human brain naturally has a negative, what they call a negative bias, which is a survival mechanism that our brain has. We want to focus more on the negative side of things than the positive. For instance, take the news out there. They always report bad news way more than they do the good news. And why is that? Because we tend to navigate towards, the bad side of it, the negative side of the news versus the positive. It's sad, but unfortunately true. Another thing would be is like a traumatic event that would happen. We tend to remember that those negative traumatic events more than a positive one. And so they say by practicing gratitude, it can shift the brain's focus away from threats or regrets and towards more of a positive life. And by doing that, it can counteract that negative bias over time. So, what is gratitude? Gratitude to I looked it up. Gratitude says it's the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Gratitude. That's what we are here. I want to learn a little bit more, share a little bit more of the gratitude side of stuff. So, again, back to my original question. What are some small things that you are grateful for? Can I ask a little favor? I would love for you to take 30 seconds out of your day and write down three things that you are grateful for. And if you would share them with me, I would love that. So either put them in the comments, you can email them, or you can message me. Um, and I like to share that on the next episode. And if you're okay with that, if you can give me your name and stuff, which I'm sure I would have that, but if you can let me know if I can share your name. If not, I totally respect your privacy. But again, I would love you to share three things that you are grateful for, or maybe even something that happened that you know you just sit back and are like, wow, that really changed my day. So, for instance, like today, I took my sweet Abby girl outside. And normally I'm on my lunch break from work. So normally I take her out, she does her business, we come inside, I eat my lunch, I say hi to my brother, and I'm back to work. Well, today though, I took her out and she just started running around and just enjoying being outside. And you're probably thinking, well, she's a dog, so yeah, dogs do that. Well, for most dogs, yes, but Miss Abby is a rescue. So normally when she's outside, she's very scared. She's very nervous of her surroundings. Any kind of noises, she just starts shaking. But today she was running, having a good time, and I was so grateful in that little moment that she wasn't scared and she just seemed so happy. Again, it's those little things that we should focus on. And I didn't want to just say, hurry up, let's get in the house, let's eat, or so I can get back to work. I was just like, I'm letting her have this moment. I was so happy for her. And again, it's those little moments. Another thing is for November, it's like everybody tends to be a little bit more thankful, I guess you want to say, which is wonderful. I feel we should do that all throughout the year, but it's the holiday season and it brings out a little bit more of being grateful, being thankful, and with the Thanksgiving season coming up, of course, as well. So for me in November, what I decided to do was to acknowledge God's goodness and faithfulness. And by doing that, I found a list of Bible verses and I take a Bible verse each day and I write it in my notebook and then I pray about it and I reflect about it. And then I write underneath it what it has meant to me. What did that Bible verse mean to me? And each of these Bible verses are focused on being grateful and being thankful. So that's what I've been doing. And I've actually gone back and reread some of them. And it's amazing to me how from day to day things can change. And you're being grateful one day, something else happened. It can be grateful for that day. And so that's what I'm doing. And what are some things that you guys do that you kind of just are able to focus a little bit more on that being thankful. So I do have a couple of things here that I have, and I have them wrote down. Is to kind of help you out a little bit, which some of you may already be doing. Gratitude journaling, writing down a few specific small things you're grateful for each day, which is kind of what we already discussed. Um, Another thing is mindful appreciation. Take a few minutes to fully engage your senses. Appreciate simple pleasures like maybe the warmth of the sun, the smell of a good meal, the smell or aroma of a beautiful flower. It's just those mindful appreciations. Acknowledging others. When someone does something kind, even as simple and as opening the door for you or holding the door, offering a genuine smile and acknowledge it. Again, my mom back in the day used to always say, if you give a smile, you get a smile back. So I always try to do that. Now, in this day and age, people are so busy minding their own business or whatever. And so you don't always get that in return. But that should not stop us from sharing our smile with somebody else because they truly may need that in that day. Again, acknowledging others. A simple thank you. I appreciate that. Not only makes them feel good, but also reinforces your own awareness of positive interactions. So even telling somebody, I appreciate you, you know, or, anything like that, just those little acknowledgments to others. Expressing thanks, telling someone you appreciate them for something specific. Say, a coworker asked to help if you need help with a task, expressing that thanks to them, or that might be them expressing thanks to you for helping them in the past with something, just little things like that. Or a friend sending out a text message to you or giving you a quick call, and just knowing that you were being thought of, express that thanks. Mindful reflection. Pausing during the day to notice and savor positive moments or small joys. Again, it's kind of like whenever I said you're in traffic and, you can't control that traffic. So sit back and enjoy that moment. There might be a reason why you needed that time. Myself, I know I've been working on that and it truly has made a difference. Um, I used to get so upset and be like, I was in such a rush, but sometimes we need to just focus and sit back and be thankful for that moment. Enjoy it because you'll never get that moment back. Um, Acts of kindness. So, engaging in generous behaviors towards others, which also activates the brain's reward system. So again, with the holiday season, I know a lot of times people will, if you're going through the drive-through somewhere, will pay for the person behind you or just give an amount and once that amount's done. I think that is wonderful. And I think we should practice that throughout the whole year. But again, it's the holiday season. People are feeling a little bit more nostalgic and wanting to share that. The little acts of kindness, I think, is wonderful. Again, or making a donation somewhere or volunteering somewhere, or helping someone across the street, or maybe your neighbor's elderly and you're able to help them carry in their groceries. Again, it's those little acts of kindness that really do mean a lot. And it helps your brain's reward system as well. So these are all good things that we can kind of focus on and maybe rewire our brain to appreciate those small things and maybe not focus so much on the negativity. Again, back to the news, I watch a little bit in the mornings and then I don't really watch it a whole lot because it is a lot of bad news. And I know, like my daughter and daughter-in-law and stuff have talked about, watching certain movies, or shows or stuff that they don't anymore because they found themselves getting a little bit caught up in that and they wanted to focus on other things that were more positive. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's, what we should be doing. So if you enjoy this episode and would love to share those things that you are grateful for, please do. And again, I would like to share them on the next episode. And if you would like to email me at the talking mug podcast at gmail.com, or you can message me through social media, through Facebook. I will respond to that as well. Please let me know if you do, if I can use your name. If you don't, again, totally understand that. So I want to say I am grateful for you all, for every one of you who has supported me. And yeah, it does mean a lot. I know I've said that a lot, but since this episode is about being grateful and thankful, I just want to tell you how grateful and how thankful I am for every one of you. So let's start being kind. Focus more on the small things, the little things that you are grateful for, and let's rewire our brain and not focus again so much on the negativity. Let's focus on what we're grateful for, thankful for, and show a little bit of kindness. So again, if you like this episode, make sure you like it, you comment, you share it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Again, it means the world to me. So I ask you all to do a little act of kindness today and share that with me as well. I would love to hear that. So, as I like to say, keep those conversations warm and your mugs full. Until the next time, have a wonderful day.